Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, as we are heading close to the 2026, I was initially thinking about that let me make another video specifically for the wealth potential for this year for all the rising signs. And I also have this topic written in the to-do list that I need to talk about the Indu Lagna as well, a comprehensive discussion on that. Then I thought let's blend both of them. So in one short video only, we can have our discussion first on the importance of the Indu Lagna, because friends, many people have this misconception in their mind that they feel that wealth needs to be studied only from the second house or from the 11th house, but no, they're like specific lagna and the zodiac signs which give precise information that the direction of the wealth and how much you will prosper because of the wealth. Because I remember when I went to this meditation retreat, over there after the meditation when we were having the food, I just asked one of the teacher, ma'am, what do you think about some people get so lucky that they get the wealth, they get like rich so quickly. Then she told me, Nipun, there have been those case studies where someone won the lottery, he bought a very fancy car, and in the same car the whole family gotten into an accident. So miracles happen, and when God gives you something, there is always a proper reason that this wealth will become a reason for putting you in the path of your life purpose or deviating you from your life purpose. So, and friends, sometimes knowing the calculation part becomes very important, because in this video we will also discuss the right approach of calculating the Indu Lagna. Because when you just see the Indu Lagna being calculated in the software and you just start doing the observation, but if you know the calculation part, you will get to know that even in the calculation, our rishis, how much importance they have given to the blessing and grace in the true calculation of the wealth which will give you prosperity. So you will also get to know about that in this video. So yes friends, this is going to be a comprehensive discussion on the Indu Lagna, the calculation part, the assessment part, and after calculating your Indu Lagna, I will not leave you high and dry. I will also tell you that your Indu Lagna, how it will get benefited in 2026, in which specific areas you can invest your money. So friends, before we will switch to the narration part for understanding this topic, a quick notification announcement. I will be conducting another workshop on the Panchang. It is for the serious astrology enthusiast, and if you are new to Vedic astrology, you want to gain mastery over it, you want to know and learn the fundamentals of the astrology, of the astrological analysis, which generally comes from the Panchang. Nakshatra is just one part of that puzzle. You have to know all the limbs of your moon, of the Panchang. So that means it's going to be a 4-sitting, 4-class workshop, and I'm sure that you will gain a lot from this. So if you are a serious astrology enthusiast, I will recommend attending this. So you can see in the flyer the dates and the prices to attend that, the energy exchange. And yes friends, now we will shift our discussion to the narration part of today's discussion on the Indu Lagna. Two people earn the same salary. One feels rich and peaceful. The other always feels financially insecure. Now the question is why? So this difference is not shown by your second house, not by your 11th house, and sometimes not even by your career. In Vedic astrology, there is a hidden ascendant of wealth destiny. It is called Indu Lagna, which we will try to decode today in this video. So if you really want to understand why money flows easily for some and painfully for others, you have to watch this video. Because friends, like I remember, I just read this post on Facebook. I live in Vancouver, that there is one person who lives in West Vancouver, one of the very premium area in Vancouver, and this person has won the lottery second time. And for these kind of interesting posts, you have to actually see the comment section. And some of the people, I have lost the faith in the God today. Imagine the guy is already so wealthy and rich, and second time it happened to him. So I mean to say, and I always say this thing, that the money and the wealth which comes to you, naseeb, fate, destiny plays a very vital role. And when I say destiny or luck, it's not something like out of like fluke or by accident. It's simply the good merits earned by your soul in some lifetime, which is reaping results now in the present. And that is the only reason we say that if you want to keep that cycle active, so even today in present, keep on doing good deeds, keep on reciting the name of the God. So friends, you would have understood the whole concept, that first I will give you an overview of the Indu Lagna, because imagine you have clicked this thumbnail just looking at the wealth potential for 2026, and without knowing what is the meaning of Indu Lagna, how can I just straight away start explaining the results? And I made this presentation for my students whom I give in person classes. So the whole discussion is divided in two parts. In the very first part, I will try to keep it as short and concise as it is possible. We will try to know about the importance of the Indu Lagna, and even the calculation part is not that complicated. So we will look at how to do the calculation, and afterwards then we will look at that now you know that this is your Indu Lagna. So how the stars will favor you in this year 2026, especially when we talk about the wealth potential. And when I say wealth, I will be taking into consideration the movement of the Saturn, Jupiter and Rahu in this year. So okay friends, so the very first question comes to everyone's mind. Indu Lagna, what is Indu Lagna? The conceptual foundation of it. So Indu Lagna is a special financial ascendant used to assess your capacity to attract wealth, financial fortune across life, comforts, prosperity and material fulfillment, how easily money flows versus how hard it is earned. So unlike the ascendant, the Lagna chart, the D1 chart, which shows life direction, or the Arudha Lagna, which shows perceived status, Indu Lagna reveals your money destiny, what kind of wealth you are destined to experience regardless of profession. So friends, I remember like growing up, because I was born in New Delhi, and just close to the New Delhi area, there was a rapid development which happened in the connected region from the New Delhi area. Like there were those families who they were like farmers. They did not have money, proper money even to have a that much money to pay their regular bills, manage the daily expenses. And when that expansion started happening, and the private players, they started buying the land in very high prices. So those families which few years back did not have proper money to eat, they started not only having like luxurious cars, but there was this person who was in the news that this person bought a Mercedes, and for just the VIP registration number, he paid almost half the amount of the Mercedes. And there was one who also got it gold plated and all. So I mean to say how the fortune changes in terms of the wealth. So yeah, all of that information we can know from the Indu Lagna. This video will give you a comprehensive understanding of Indu Lagna. So friends, now comes a question that scriptural origin and the classical authority, knowing that becomes very important. So Indu Lagna is mentioned in the Brihad Parāśara Hora Shastra under wealth evolution techniques, and Parāśara especially emphasizes that moon based wealth assessment is important. Ninth house interaction, fortune, because I always say money and the wealth, naseeb, destiny plays a very important role over there. There are many people who are willing and ready to work hard, and there are those who are already working hard, but still fortune and the money is not coming to everyone. Imagine even this session is for free on YouTube. Had it been through a paid workshop, how much money I would have made from this workshop. So that's what I'm saying. Naseeb, destiny, luck, fortune, ninth house plays a very significant role for the inflow of the wealth, money. The role of benefics in the material rise. So this makes Indu Lagna a Parāśarī wealth key. So it's not a very later invention like the way many astrologers debate about the efficacy of the or credibility of the Kalsarp yoga. They say that it has been later on invented by astrologers to scare and for that fear mongering. So but when we talk about this Indu Lagna, you don't need to have any doubts. There is a clear mention of this in majority of the renowned recognized classics. Now, when we talk about, obviously you would be wondering that why moon is used, why ninth house is used. So moon is used because it's your mind, emotional security, contentment, ability to enjoy wealth, and also or the Purv Jan Prarabdha Karma is somehow stored in the moon only. The moon nakshatra, the whole panchang. So moon is important. Ninth house, bhagya is important, grace is important, past life merit is important, divine support is important. So wealth without the moon could be reason for anxiety, and fortune without moon could lead to dissatisfaction. So Indu Lagna therefore measures wealth that nourishes the life, not just the numbers. Now comes the question, friends, that how to calculate the Indu Lagna step by step. So that's very simple. In your chart, you have to identify your ninth lord from the ascendant, from the Lagna, ninth lord from the moon. Okay, and then there are like certain, these are the assigned planetary points. Now you have to go by this. Like for example, Sun has been allotted 30 points, Moon is allotted 16 points, Mars is allotted 6 points, Mercury allotted 8 points, Jupiter allotted 10 points, Venus 12, Saturn 1, and Rahu Ketu is usually excluded. So I will just take up a random example. Let's say in my chart, I'm a Aries rising and I'm a Aquarius moon. So from my Lagan, from the ascendant, my ninth lord from the Aries Lagna's chart, my ninth lord becomes the planet Jupiter. So Jupiter has got 10 points over here. And just because I'm a Aquarius moon, so that means from the Aquarius moon in the ninth house, you will find the zodiac sign a Libra over there. And Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus has got in this table 12 points. So now what we have to do as per the calculation process, we have to, in the step 3, if you will see, in the step 3, add the points. So for me, my Lagna's ninth lord becomes the Jupiter, which has got 10 points. And from my moon, the ninth lord becomes the planet Venus, which has got the 12 points. So now what you have to do is that in the step 4, final step, you have to divide the total by the 12, and the remainder is going to be the zodiac sign number. So if the remainder is 0, then that means it's Pisces. Otherwise, you have to count that many places from the moon. That sign will become your Indu Lagna. So again, in my case, ninth lord from my ascendant is Jupiter, 10 points. Ninth lord from my moon sign is the Venus. It has got 12 points. So 10 plus 12 is 22. Now you have to divide 22 by 12. So you will get the remainder in this example as the 10. So now from my moon sign, you have to go 10 places. So my moon sign is Aquarius. From there, if you will go 10 places from there, you will reach the Scorpio. So that means my Indu Lagna is Scorpio. That's very strange. My wealth combination, my all these health, healing, occult, research, all the combinations lead to Scorpio. So okay, I'm sure you would have understood. And if you like follow advanced apps like Jagannath Hora, over there you will see the mention right in the front page only, in the home page only, you will see the mention of the Indu Lagna. But I just wanted to show you the importance of it, that even the Rishi Parāśarī has given so much attention and importance to the Bhagya, both from the ascendant and from the moon, when it comes down to the true wealth which nourishes. So now friends, few basic principles, then we will switch to the 2026. So how to interpret the Indu Lagna? The core principles which we generally follow is the strength of the Indu Lagna Lord, any divisional chart, any special Lagna, Ghati Lagna, Hora Lagna, like anything. So your the sign Lord, the Lagan Lord becomes very important. So that means strength of the Indu Lagna Lord, strong. If it is strong, then that means stable and expanding wealth. If it is weak or afflicted, so money struggles despite effort. The planets in the Indu Lagna also play a very significant role. So for example, if you have benefics over there, so that means ease, luxury, abundance. But if you have malefics, then that means wealth will be attained through hardship, discipline, and there might be delays as well. Now houses from the Indu Lagna, so second house income growth, fourth house comforts and prosperity, 10th house career based wealth, 11th house gains, network, fame based money. We say this thing friends, right, that even from the Upapada Lagna, the second house becomes very important. That tells about the lineage of your spouse. So same is the way. Now friends, talking in brief, the wealth style, like if your Indu Lagna is in all the 12 signs. So till this part, if you have already figured out your Indu Lagna, that zodiac sign, so then that means what could be the direction and the quality of the wealth for you, which the cosmos has written in your destiny. So if it is Aries, then that means wealth through initiative, leadership, risk taking, and money grows with courage and entrepreneurship. If it is Taurus, luxury, assets, food, land, stable income, strong saving potential. If it is Gemini, business, trading, communication, media, that is possible that you might have multiple income channels. If it is Cancer, so family wealth, real estate, emotional investments, fluctuating but protective fortune. If it is Leo, authority based wealth, fame, leadership roles, money tied to your public image or your status. If it is Virgo, so service, analytics, healing, very precise work, slow but steady accumulation. If it is Libra, partnership, contract, diplomacy, spouse also contributes significantly to your wealth. If it is Scorpio, sudden gains, inheritance, research based wealth, occult connected wealth, high highs, intense cycle means fluctuate. The wealth potential fluctuates a lot. And again friends, if it is Scorpio, so a lot of the times we also say that there might be lot of the enmity and evil eye of other people on your possession. So you have to be very protective. If it is Sagittarius, luck driven wealth, teaching, spirituality, money flows when the dharma is followed. It becomes very important. For Capricorn, hard earned wealth, long term success, late but lasting prosperity. If it is Aquarius, mass impact, technology, social media, networks, wealth via innovation and collective reach. And lastly friends, if it is Pisces, grace based wealth, charity linked gains, and money comes when ego dissolves. So friends, see, I'm sure you would have been knowing this thing that when it comes down to the wealth potential, which all areas we have to give attention. I always say any analysis always first begins with the Panchang. So after looking at the Panchang, seeing all the getting all the confirmation from the Tithi, Yog, Karan, Nakshatra, then in the main chart you have to see the second house because it tells about your income and savings. You have to see the 11th house because it tells about the gains and the fulfillment. You have to see the D2 Hora for the wealth management. You have to see the Arudha Lagna for the social status because it is your perceived reality. Then it comes the Indu Lagna because your wealth, destiny and comfort level. So someone may earn well because of a strong second house, 11th house, but still feel poor if Indu Lagna is afflicted. And also friends, like when we are doing the analysis of the Indu Lagna, so Indu Lagna in the Dasha and the transit also becomes very important. Like during the Dasha of the Indu Lagna Lord, which I'm sure you would have calculated. So planets being placed in the Indu Lagna and they are active in the Dasha, or Jupiter or Venus, they are aspecting the Indu Lagna. So major financial openings can happen. And when Jupiter is transiting over the Indu Lagna, so we say that it is the biggest wealth activation period, because you know that how much importance it is to know the calculation part, because Indu Lagna is purely your bhagya, destiny, fortune. So that means the planet which in itself represents destiny and the good fortune, blessing, if it will transit over the Indu Lagna, so biggest wealth activation period will be that for you, and especially powerful for property, expansion, peace. And friends, what could be the wealth blocks for this? We say that Saturn, Rahu afflicting the Indu Lagna, there might be delay, fear of loss, enmity, people are envious and they are eyeing your position. If Mars affliction is there, impulsive losses. If it is a weak moon, so money comes but peace is never there. And friends, like obviously we have to talk about the remedy as well. So you have to strengthen your moon, which can be done through Monday fasting, milk or rice donation, reciting the mantra of the Chandra, of the moon, activating the ninth house, where we say that do the charity without expectation, do the Guru Seva, donations in the temple, and the Indu Lagna Lord remedies like planet specific gemstone for that. Mantra chanting and the behavioral alignment as well, like because Indu Lagna responds more to the inner attitude than the outer effort. So friends, the final takeaway is that Indu Lagna is not only about how rich you look, it's not only about the profession, it's not about the hustle alone, it is about your karmic permission to enjoy the material life. When aligned correctly, wealth becomes supportive, not stressful. Otherwise, we have seen so many rich and wealthy people who also end up committing suicide and all. They are so lonely and isolated in their life. So that means wealth strengthened, supported Indu Lagna will talk about the wealth which will be attained through righteous means and which will give you prosperity. So now friends, after this part, let's switch our discussion specific to the Indu Lagna and the wealth generation capacity in 2026. So friends, 2026 is a very special year because if you have watched my yearly transit prediction video on this, so when we talk about the king of the year, minister of the year, the Samvatsar, as per the Vedic Astrology calculation and all. So over there as well, Jupiter has a major say. If you follow numerology, you will make a sum total of the 2026. That will also give you number 1 as the resulting number. So that is being ruled by the planet Sun. So there are like many favorable, auspicious, positive omens, which is actually making this year very special. Now friends, talking about the Jupiter, so Jupiter this year is going to be transiting from the Gemini. It is going to be getting exalted in the Cancer and then transiting in the Leo. So we know this thing that Jupiter defines where wealth opportunities open. And when we talk about the planet Saturn, Saturn being in the Pisces has got more to do with how you will be allowed to keep and stabilize that wealth. The opportunity which Jupiter will generate, and not only Jupiter, even from the Rahu Ketu axis in the Aquarius and in the Leo is considered as very potent, very powerful. So Ketu churn out the poor punya and Rahu gives the expansion. So friends, knowing that how these planets are impacting you, influencing you from your ascendant, from the moon sign is important, but also studying it from the Indu Lagna as well. So now comes the question that like why 2026 is a turning point for the wealth karma. So 2026 is not just a fast money year, it is a wealth sorting year. And from an Indu Lagna perspective, 2026 separates, this year will separate the temporary earners from long-term financially protected individuals. So this is the year where Indu Lagna matters more than your second house or the 11th house. Now friends, talking about the roles of Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter, which is connected with the wealth expansion potential. So grace, opportunity, protection, moral alignment with the money is seen from the Jupiter. And Saturn, so we know that Saturn is seen for the removal of the false growth, typical Pisces energy, discipline, sustainability, wealth validation. So Indu Lagna reacts differently to Jupiter and Saturn than the Lagna does. So that means Jupiter will decide how much is offered and Saturn will decide how much is approved. So the Jupiter's 2026 role from Indu Lagna. So we know that in 2026 Jupiter continues to activate knowledge, trade, network, learning, advisory and intellectual wealth themes, like a typical Gemini influences spilling into the Cancer later on and then eventually in the Leo as well. So from the Indu Lagna, Jupiter does three critical things. So it tests deservingness of the wealth. If wealth gained earlier was manipulative, shortcut driven, ego based, Jupiter withdraw ease, not money, but peace will disappear for sure. And expands only clean Indu Lagna charts. That means strong outcomes if Indu Lagna Lord is unafflicted, Moon is stable, and 9th house is clean. Such natives will experience right opportunities at the right time in 2026. You will get the supportive mentors, help without asking. It will be accessible. So friends, in short, in 2026, we cannot say that effort is equivalent to the reward. Alignment, right mindset is equivalent to the reward. So this is a classic Indu Lagna rule here. Now when we talk about from Saturn's point of view, Saturn's 2026 role from the Indu Lagna. So we know that Saturn in 2026 is the final judge of the financial maturity. Because friends, see, even in the Kalpurush Kundli, Pisces is seen as the last zodiac sign of the zodiac belt. So that means there is one cycle which Saturn is completing. So that is the only reason I'm saying that Saturn in 2026 is the final judge of the financial maturity. So from Indu Lagna, Saturn shows whether wealth will become permanent or whether repeated earning losing cycles will continue. Saturn just asks one question: can this person emotionally and ethically handle wealth? So if yes, consolidation. If no, pressure, delay, forced discipline. And over here as well, friends, like I was watching this podcast, over there was a debate between the guest and the host. So I guess the host, I don't know who said what, but the point of discussion was one person said that if you win any lottery, sudden wealth gain, you have to share your good fortune with others, less privileged ones. To which other person replied that God gave me that chance because God wanted me to be wealthy and rich. And if God wanted me to share and lose out everything via sharing, then why was I chosen on the first place? So it is open to many debate and interpretation. Obviously, to whatsoever capacity or whatsoever you have to always help and share and do the charity, earn the merit. Money and even this physical body is just a mean to exhaust your karma and earn good merit. But yeah, I was just telling about that. But yes, Saturn always look at things from this perspective, that I can give you big wealth, big power, but can you handle that? So is this person emotionally and ethically can handle the wealth or not? So because if the answer is yes, you have that bandwidth, so there will be consolidation. Otherwise, pressure, delay, forced discipline. So now friends, let's get down to the predictive part now. First, we will look at from your Indu Lagna for 2026, and then we will briefly look at your activated Dasha as well. So if you have a fire Indu Lagna, like you are a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you did the whole calculation and you got to know that your Indu Lagna is Aries, your Indu Lagna is Sagittarius. So that means the theme for this year is going to be that ego purification before the expansion. Jupiter will definitely open the doors for you, and Saturn will test your humility. See friends, because obviously for the Aries, even if that is your Indu Lagna, Jupiter will get exalted in the 4th. But at the same time, Saturn is there in the 12th house. For the Leo, Jupiter is giving you opportunity being in the 11th house, but at the same time Saturn is in the 8th house. So that is the only reason I'm saying that Jupiter will open the door, but Saturn will test the humility as well. So gains through leadership, teaching, advisory roles for sure, and losses if pride or entitlement dominates. And the best result will come when wealth is either reinvested or shared. Now for the earth zodiac sign Indu Lagna, like you are a Taurus, you are a Virgo, you are a Capricorn, so the theme for you is going to be slow but powerful consolidation. So Saturn favors earth Indu Lagna very strongly, and Jupiter gives quality, not the quantity. So obviously, for if I were to take the case of the Taurus, Jupiter transiting in the 2nd house, then in the 3rd house, even like Rahu and Saturn are also very supportive. Like Saturn in the 11th house is considered as very strong, being an important planet for the Taurus people, and Rahu in the 10th house. So that means for the earth Indu Lagna natives, the theme is slow but powerful consolidation. Saturn will favor your Indu Lagna very strongly, and Jupiter will give you quality, not the quantity. So very good news for the property, assets, long-term investments, also like those who are in job. So salary stability, pensions, passive income. So these are the quite winners of the 2026. The earth Indu Lagna for sure. Now talking about the air Indu Lagna, for example, if your Indu Lagna turns out to be, you calculated it to be Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, then that means the theme for you is going to be network driven wealth reset. Jupiter will expand the contacts, platforms and the reach. Saturn will remove the fake alliances, and income via tech, media, consulting is possible. Friendship linked to money may break. So yeah, there will be authenticity, credibility which will survive this year. And wealth will grow after the social pruning. So that will be very much important for you to know that which all people, connections are actually reinforcing, adding to your wealth or wealth potential, or which one are just draining you. Now friends, if your Hindu Lagna is water based like Cancer, Scorpio or Pisces, so then that means the theme for you is going to be emotional detachment from the money. Like Jupiter will bring the support, Saturn will test your emotional dependency. So that means there will be gains through family, healing, research, spirituality, and unnecessary emotional spending will be punished. So even if you are working as a healer, so there are boundaries which need to be honored. Otherwise, there will be punishment or there might be delays. And because we are talking purely from the point of view of the wealth, so the wealth will suffer. So money stays only when the attachment reduces. So friends, you would have known this thing and you would have understood so far that Jupiter and Saturn aspect triggers from the Hindu Lagna. So very important timing rule. So that means major wealth shift will occur when Jupiter either aspect or transit the Hindu Lagna and Saturn aspect the Hindu Lagna Lord. And the Dasha is also supporting it. So if only Jupiter supports, opportunity will come but without stability. And if only Saturn supports, stability without growth. But if both support, life-changing financial phase. Because friends, we know that right now, let's say for example, your Hindu Lagna turns out to be like Sagittarius. So we know that Sagittarius is right now receiving the double transit impact. So then that means it is going to be very good news for you. There might be some life-changing financial phase. And let's say for example, in the same Sagittarius, you have like Jupiter being placed over there. So your Sagittarius is the Hindu Lagna, which is getting the double transit impact. You have your natal birth Jupiter placed over there in the Sagittarius, and it is also active in the Dasha. So then you can see how many overlaps are fulfilling the requirement. So that's how you have to do the calculation. And also friends, like which all people are going to be or have to be careful in 2026. Obviously, Hindu Lagna based. This whole discussion is purely for Hindu Lagna. So you have to be cautious if Hindu Lagna Lord is conjunct Rahu, Moon is weak or afflicted, it does not have any Pakshbal, or Saturn aspect your Hindu Lagna very harshly with its third aspect and all. And so these native may experience like fear, despite money is coming, but still you are very fearful, insecure, in want for more. there will be forced savings, sudden responsibilities. So this is not punishment, but the financial maturity training for you. And again friends, who will benefit the most in the 2026? So strong results for you if your Indu Lagna is connected to Jupiter or Venus. Like your Indu Lagna is either receiving the aspect of the planet Jupiter, or over your Indu Lagna, Venus is placed over there. For example, you are a Taurus, you have a Taurus Indu Lagna or Libra Indu Lagna, and Venus is placed over there. Then this is a win-win situation. So Indu Lagna connected to Jupiter or Venus, clean moon and the ninth house axis, Saturn supportive, like rather than causing affliction, it is very well supporting you. So such people can experience wealth with peace, reduced anxiety, and long-term planning clarity. So 2026 will reward the people who respect money, they don't chase it. And friends, like at the end, if I need to talk about, like for example, the remedies and the alignment for you. So best Indu Lagna remedies in 2026 are like charity related to the food, education, shelter. Avoid like very greed based decision, because Saturn in itself being in the Pisces is talking more about charity, donation. Whatever surplus you have, share it with the others, less fortunate ones. And imagine if you're acting with greed. So this is not going to be in harmony with the cosmos, especially for 2026. And strengthen your moon. How we strengthen the moon? Through routine, sleep, water discipline, and the gratitude practices. So in 2026, you will see that Saturn will block the entitlement and Jupiter will reward the gratitude. And also friends, in short, like if you have to understand 2026 in terms of in harmony with the Dasha as well, running time period as well. So you would have understood so far that the most important rule for the wealth activation in this year is that in 2026, wealth will activate only if the Dasha supports the Indu Lagna, not merely the ascendant chart, not merely the second house or the 11th house. It is, or it has to support the Indu Lagna as well. So the prime wealth giving Dashas, prime wealth giving Dasha in 2026 is of you experience real financial movement in 2026 if your running Dasha, Antar Dasha involves Indu Lagna Lord, planet placed in the Indu Lagna, Jupiter or Venus connected to the Indu Lagna, ninth Lord from the Lagna or moon tied to the Indu Lagna. If none of these are active, then this might be a preparation year for you, not an expansion year. Now friends, let's say for example, if you are in a, because if we have to talk about the wealth, major wealth, purely from the wealth point of view, so we will look at the Dashas. Like if you are in a Jupiter Dasha, what could be the guideline for you? What approach and mindset this year will be rewarded? If you are in the Saturn Dasha, Venus Dasha, Rahu Dasha, because these are some of the Dasha which has the potential to suddenly change our fortune, especially from the wealth and money point of view. So if you are in the Jupiter Dasha or Antar Dasha and your Indu Lagna is connected with it, so then that means in 2026 there will be clean financial expansion. You will get the support from the mentors, institution and the foreigners as well. An ethical money path will flourish. But in 2026, Jupiter will punish the shortcut. So over leveraging, a greed based speculation and ego driven decision. So Jupiter will give you wealth and peace, or money and anxiety, depending on the Indu Lagna purity. Now friends, if you are in 2026, you are in the Saturn Dasha or Antar Dasha, and Saturn is connected to the Indu Lagna. So for example, the sign where if your Indu Lagna for example is Libra, and Saturn is placed in the Libra and Saturn is active in the Dasha, then this is more important for you. So for example, friends, in my case, when I showed my chart as a reference example, my Indu Lagna turned out to be Scorpio, and I have my Saturn being placed in the Scorpio, which is right now active in the Dasha. So then that means my Indu Lagna in a way is active. That is what I'm trying to say. So results in 2026 for you is, this could be the year for the wealth consolidation, debt, loans clearance, long-term asset formation, delayed but permanent stability. So Saturn does not deny wealth in 2026 to you if you are in the Saturn Dasha. He denies the financial immaturity. So if Saturn activates the Indu Lagna, income may not jump, but financial fear will reduce permanently. So this is a life stabilizing dasha, not a flashy one for you. If you are in a Venus dasha, antar dasha, and Venus is connected to the Indu Lagna, then that means this year can give you luxury, relationship linked wealth, brand values, aesthetics, public appeal. And if Venus is afflicted, there might be indulgences, overspending, and there might be loss of discipline. And everyone talks about Rahu. So if Rahu is activating the Indu Lagna in 2026, so then that means sudden gains are possible. But Saturn might ensure consequences. So then that means Rahu money in 2026 must be transparent, ethical and sustainable. Otherwise, boom, and it will burst the karma. And friends, like also specific sector. Now after that I will conclude this discussion, because I know a lot of you with your planning already being active now for this year, you will be like wondering that which all sectors shall I invest, or shall I focus more on the savings. So let's look at that as well. So which Indu Lagna gets the property versus the liquid wealth in 2026. So this is very important, friends, because Jupiter and Saturn are not favoring the same type of wealth in 2026. Saturn is more driven towards like being in the Pisces, investments, charity, voluntary work, and Jupiter is indicating like being in the Cancer, getting exalted from like in the middle of the year. About real estate and all. So we'll talk about that. So let's say, for example, when we talk about property and the fixed assets, it will be favored to the Indu Lagna of, if you are a Taurus Indu Lagna, you are a Cancer Indu Lagna, you are a Virgo Indu Lagna, or you are a Capricorn Indu Lagna. Now question comes, why? Because Saturn stabilizes the earth and the water signs. So, and Jupiter will give slow and secure expansion. So best outcome, if this happened to be your Indu Lagna, friends, buying a house, investment in a land, renovation, and long-term real estate planning, because these Indu Lagnas will build wealth that will survive decades. Now when we talk about the liquid and cash flow wealth favored, so if you and your Indu Lagna turns out to be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, like air signs as the Indu Lagna, so then that means Jupiter will expand the network, trade and consulting. Saturn will force pruning of the bad alliances. So the best outcome for you, for your Indu Lagna being Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is like there will be business income, freelancing work, consulting work, online platform, tech linked wealth, and saving discipline is very, very mandatory. The mixed, if I were to say, high risk wealth zone, if your Indu Lagna is in Aries, Leo, Scorpio or Sagittarius. Now why? Because obviously Jupiter is pushing the ambition, but Saturn is testing the ego and the risk tolerance. Because Saturn is for the Aries in the 12th, for the Leo it's in the 8th. So because of that, even Sagittarius people, Saturn is in the 4th. So the best approach for you is partial investment, avoid the leverage, and convert your profits into assets quickly. So these signs can earn fast but must lock wealth intentionally. And grace based wealth, I always say, friends, I do not know where you stand when it comes down to fate versus free will, but in this sector of the certain areas of the life where we say getting a right spouse, getting obedient children, getting a no insecurities on the wealth, stable, consistent wealth. So blessing plays a very significant role. So which all Indu Lagna this year will get the wealth because of grace? So for that it's the Pisces. So the theme for them is help will arrive when needed, and wealth will flow through service, healing and spiritual alignment. And be mindful of this, that greed will block the flow instantly for the Pisces Indu Lagna in 2026. So friends, the master key of 2026, the Indu Lagna truth for this year is 2026 does not decide how rich you become. It decides how safe your financial life becomes. Jupiter asks, are you aligned? And Saturn always asks, are you mature? Because through gratitude and gratefulness and being faith driven through good virtues and merits, you are aligned. But at the same time, whatever life will give you, Jupiter will give you, are you mature enough to retain it or not? So they both are equally important. So if your answer is yes to both, Jupiter that you are aligned and to Saturn that you are mature, the wealth will stay. So okay friends, I'm sure you would have got some information regarding how to calculate your Indu Lagna, your wealth potential, why irrespective of having a good job, good flow of money, why you still don't feel satisfied. I'm sure you would be able to decode it, and also where to invest your money and the flow of the money in 2026. This video would have provided you sufficient information on that. And yes, again friends, a reminder that if you are interested in learning Panchang with me, so the 4-class workshop on the Panchang I will be conducting very soon. So I'm taking the enrollments for that. So if you're interested, you can see it in the flyer and get in touch and book yourself a slot for that. So yes friends, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic Astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. धन्यवाद.